Hello students, I am Kalyani Vapre and welcome to the Department of Mathematics of KTHM College, Nasik. Here we are going to study Mathematics paper first, groups and coding theory of SYBSc Computer Science class.
In last lecture, we saw well ordering principle, proof of GCD is a linear combination and Euclid's lemma. Okay. Now today we are going to study least common multiple, equivalence relation and congruence relation. Now we start with the least common multiple. Okay. So least common multiple. Least common multiple, that is LCM. Definition: let A and B be any two non-zero integers, then least common multiple of A and B is defined to be a positive integer L such that A divides L and B divides L, and if A divides C, B divides C, then L divides C. So see here, least common multiple of any two non-zero integer is a positive integer L such that L is the common multiple of two integers A and B, and among that common multiple L is the smallest. That means least common multiple. Okay. Now we see the notation of LCM. So notation is LCM of AB is equals to close bracket AB is equals to L. So this is the notation for LCM. Now we see the example. Find LCM of 6 and 10. So for finding LCM, first of all we want to find the common multiple of 6 and 10, and among that common multiples we want to find the smallest common multiple, and that smallest common multiple is nothing but the least common multiple. Solution. Now common multiples of 6 and 10 are, so 30, 60 and so on. These are the common multiples of 6 and 10, and among this common multiple smallest one is 30. So therefore LCM of 6 and 10 is 30. Get it? Okay. Now we see the next example. Show that for any two non-zero integers A and B, LCM of AB is equals to mod of product of AB divided by GCD of AB. So in this example A and B are two non-zero integers, and here we want to show that LCM of AB is equals to the product of AB divided by GCD of AB. Solution. Let GCD of AB is equals to D. So here we assume that D is the GCD of AB. So therefore D divides A and D divides B. Therefore A is equals to K1D and B is equals to K2D. For all K1 and K2 belongs to the set of integers, and GCD of K1 and K2 is equals to 1. So see here, GCD of K1 and K2 is equals to 1. That means K1 and K2 are relatively prime. Okay. Now we want to show that G is equals to mod of K1 into K2 into D is the LCM of A and B. So see here, G is equals to mod of K1 into K2 into D, and we want to show that this G is the LCM of A and B. So now we consider G equals to mod of K1 into K2 into D. So which is equals to mod of K1 into mod K2 into mod D. Since D greater than 0 and mod D is equals to D. D is greater than 0, so mod D is equals to D. So here mod of K1 into D into mod K2. So see here, A is nothing but K1 into D. So substitute here A. So mod A into mod K2. Okay. Here write down reason, since A is equals to K1 into D. So therefore G is equals to plus minus A into mod K2. Since mod A is nothing but the plus minus A. When we take any number out of the mod, then it is plus minus 1. Right? So here we get A divides G. Okay. Similarly, we get B divides G. That means here we get G is common multiple of integer A and B. Now we want to show that G is the smallest common multiple. Okay. So now we want to show that G is smallest multiple. G is smallest multiple. For that, let C be a positive integer such that A divides C and B also divides C. So for that C is equals to AP and C is equals to BQ, where for all P and Q belongs to the set of integers. Okay, so here we want to show that G is the smallest multiple. For that, showing this result, we assume that C is any positive integer. So A divides C and B divides C. So therefore we get C is equals to AP and C is equals to BQ, where P and Q belongs to the set of integers. Now here we know that GCD of K1 and K2 is equals to 1. We take GCD of K1 and K2 1, that is K1 and K2 are relatively prime. Therefore, there exists x and y belongs to the set of integers such that x into k1 plus y into k2 is equals to 1. So here we multiply both sides by c. So therefore we get c is equals to xk1 c plus yk2 c. Now we substitute the value of c here. C is equals to AP and c is equals to BQ. So here we get xk1 c is equals to BQ. We substitute here BQ, and yk2 we substitute c is equals to AP. Since c is equals to AP and c is equals to BQ. Okay. Now here, see here, xk1 bq plus yk2 ap. So here a is nothing but k1d and b is equals to k2d. Substitute these two value here. So we get x k1, b is k2d. So k2d into q. Y into k2, here a is equals to k1d. So substitute here k1d. Since a is equals to k1d and b is equals to k2d. Okay. Now take out k1, k2, d common. So here we get k1 into k2 into d into, we get xq plus yp. So here g is equals to mod of k1 k2 into d. So here we take mod of k1 k2 into d xq plus yp, so which is equals to plus minus g into xq plus yp, which is equals to c plus minus g into xq plus yp. So here we get g divides c. Okay, so g divides c, that means g is the smallest common multiple of a and b. Therefore g is LCM of AB. Right? Now again consider g is equals to mod of k1 into k2 into d. So multiply both sides by g, d. So g into d is equals to mod of k1 into k2 into d square. Here d square is always greater than 0. So d square is nothing but d into d, and d into d is again greater than 0. So here d is nothing but the mod d. So we get gd is equals to mod of k1 into d and mod of k2 into d. So gd is equals to mod k1 into d is nothing but a, and mod k2 into d is nothing but b. So write here reason, since a is equals to k1d and b is equals to k2d. Okay, so we get gd is equals to mod a into mod b. So again gd is equals to mod a into b, and simplify this, g is equals to mod a into b divided by d. So now in this example we showed that g is nothing but the LCM of AB and d is nothing but the GCD of AB. So substitute here. So we get LCM of AB is equals to mod of product of AB divided by GCD of AB. And this formula is nothing but the relationship between LCM and GCD. Okay. So always remember this formula. LCM of any two integer is equals to product of that integer divided by GCD of that two integer. Okay. Now we take the example based on this formula. So here example, let 115, GCD of 115 is equals to 5. Then find LCM of 100 and 15. Okay, so solution, we know that LCM of AB is equals to mod of product of AB divided by GCD of AB. So substitute values here. So we get LCM of 115 is equals to mod of 100 into 15 divided by GCD of 115, which is equals to, so 100 into 15 is 1500 divided by GCD is 5. So we get 300. 5 divide 1500, so we get 300. Okay, so therefore LCM of 115 is equals to 300. Okay, get it this? Here we use the formula LCM of two integers is equals to mod of product of integer divided by GCD. Right? Substitute the values here. After simplifying this, we get the 300. Okay. Now, next point, equivalence relation. So, if relation is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, then that type of relation is called as equivalence relation. Okay. So, what is meant by reflexive? Reflexive, that means if A related to A itself, then that type of relation is called as reflexive. Then symmetric, A related to B. If A related to B implies that B related to A also, then this type of relation is called as symmetric. And third, A related to B and B related to C. Then this implies that A related to C. A related to B, B related to C, and if A related to C, this implies that A related to C, then this is transitive. So remember the point, if relation is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, then that type of relation is equivalence relation. So take definition of equivalence relation. Let A be any non-empty set and R be a relation on set A. If R is reflexive, symmetric and transitive relation, then it is called equivalence relation. Okay. AB a non-empty set, R be a relation on set A. If R is reflexive, symmetric and transitive relation, then it is called as equivalence relation. Right? Now take example. So example, let R be a relation on set of all lines in a plane. Let R be a relation on set of all lines in a plane. So here x related to y if x is parallel to y. Show that R is equivalence relation. So here given that R be a relation on set of all lines in a plane, and here x is related to y if x is parallel to y, then and only then x related to y, and here we want to show that R is an equivalence relation. So here equivalence relation, that means if relation is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, then it is called as equivalence relation. Okay, so solution, let L denotes the set of all lines in a plane. So we take L, set of all lines in a plane. So first we want to show that it is reflexive. So for reflexive, let L1 belongs to set L. L1 be a line which belongs to the set L. So here we know the result that every line is parallel to itself. So by using this result we get L1 parallel to L1, and here L1 is parallel to L1 itself, hence L1 is related to L1. So here L1 related to L1, which implies L1 parallel to L1. L1 belongs to the set L. Therefore, R is reflexive. Therefore, R is reflexive relation. Now, next point, symmetric. So, symmetric, that means A related to B, B related to A. So, here for that, second point, L1 and L2 belongs to set L. Here L1 related to L2, which implies that L1 parallel to L2. Now here, see here, this line L1 and this is L2. So see here, L1 is parallel to L2. So from this figure, L2 is again parallel to L1. So here we get that L2 is again parallel to L1. So that means this implies that L2 related to L1. Okay. So therefore, R is symmetric relation. Now third point, transitivity. Transitivity, that means A related to B, B related to C implies A related to C. So here we take three lines, L1, L2 and L3 belongs to set L. See here, L1 related to L2, which implies that L1 parallel to L2, and L2 related to L3, this implies that L2 is parallel to L3. So see here, we take three lines, L1, L2 and L3. So here L1 is parallel to L2, L2 is parallel to L3. So observe this figure, L1 is again parallel to L3. So we get the relation L1 parallel to L3, which implies that L1 is parallel to L3. So this implies that L1 related to L3. For L1, L2 and L3 belongs to set L. Therefore, R is transitive relation. Therefore, from 1, 2 and 3, from 1, 2 and 3, we get R is an equivalence relation on set N. Okay, so for showing R is equivalence relation, first of all we want to show that R is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Reflexive, that means A related to A itself. Symmetric, that means if A related to B, then B is again related to A. Transitive, A related to B, B related to C, then A is related to C. Okay. Now next point, congruence relation. Congruence relation. Definition: let N be a positive integer and AB belongs to the set of integers. Then if N divides A minus B, then we say that A is congruent to B modulo N. Okay. So here N be a positive integer and AB belongs to the set of integers. So here if N divides A minus B, then we say that A is congruent to B modulo N, and it is written as A congruent to B modulo N. So here congruence relation is written as A congruent to B modulo N. The symbol of congruence relation is this. Okay. Now we take example 5 congruent to 11 modulo 6. This is the example of congruence relation. So here A is equals to 5, B is equals to 11 and N is equals to 6. So here A minus B is equals to 5 minus 11, we get minus 6. And here 6 divides minus 6. So this is the congruence relation. So 5 congruent to 11 modulo 6 is a congruence relation. Now we see next example. Show that the congruence relation on set of integers is an equivalence relation. Show that the congruence relation on set of integers is an equivalence relation. So here, solution. Here we want to show that congruence relation on set of integer is an equivalence relation. So equivalence, that means here we want to show that congruence relation is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. So we want to show that congruence relation is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Okay, so we take let N be a positive integer. Here we take N as a positive integer. First, for reflexivity, let A belongs to the set of integers. N divides A minus A is true, is always true. So that is A congruent to A modulo n. Therefore, congruence relation is reflexive. So here A be any integer and n divides A minus A, which is always true. So A congruent to A modulo n. That means here congruence relation is reflexive. Now we want to show that it is symmetric. So for symmetric we take two integers A and B. Let A and B belongs to the set of integers. So here A congruent to B modulo n. This implies that n divides A minus B. So here n divides A minus B. So this also implies that n divides B minus A. Okay. So that means B is congruent to A modulo n. Therefore, congruence relation is symmetric. Now, third point, let A, B and C belongs to the set of integers. So here A congruent to B modulo n. This implies that n divides A minus B. And B congruent to C modulo n. This implies that n divides B minus C. So see here, n divides A minus B and n divides B minus C. This implies that n divides, we take addition of this 2. So here n divides A minus B plus B minus C. And simplify this, so we get n divides A minus B plus B minus C. So this implies n divides A minus C plus B minus B gets cancelled. So we get A congruent to C modulo n. So here we get that congruence relation is transitive. Therefore, congruence relation is transitive. Okay. Therefore, from 1, 2 and 3 we get congruence relation is an equivalence relation on set of integers. Okay. Thank you.